Hello teacher, my name is Pablo Trujillo and I'm going to ask you some questions and I hope to have the best answer.
Okay, sure. No problem.
For example, I have heard about people that prefer to live in them to have or buying something. What do you think about this situation?
Can you repeat the question, please?
I have heard about people
Yeah?
that they prefer to live in debt
In debt? Okay.
to have or buying something. What do you think about this situation?
Okay, I don't agree with that because living in debt is very uncomfortable.
Yeah,
So it's better to save money if you want to buy something later on and to know how to spend your money in a wise way. So that's the best thing.
I think that you can live with those problems and concerns. I think we have to live in peace.
Right. For example, if you earn $1,000 a month, you cannot spend 1,100. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah? But because if you spend more than 1,000, you're going to be in trouble. Or you're going to have problems and you're going to be in debt. And that's going to get just worse and worse. So you have to spend less than you earn. So that would be the best thing.
The next question. What do you think about to take out a loan to buy something unnecessary?
Something that you don't need? You mean?
That's right.
I don't think that's...
For example, expensive car.
Okay.
You know.
Well, I don't think that's something intelligent to do, right? Because you can buy a car, but you don't have to buy an expensive car. So, and you can get a credit from a bank.
Yeah.
I guess that's okay. Actually, that's okay. But if you know that every month you have to pay, let's say, $400, and you can afford that, so that's okay. But if you cannot afford that because you have other expenses and you have to spend money on your tuition, on your books, food, etc. So make sure that the amount of money that you're going to pay, make sure that you have it.
And if you have the opportunity, if you have the resources.
Yeah, that's the best thing. So if you have enough money to pay for a car, buy it. Get a credit from a bank, right? But if you know that you cannot afford an expensive car, don't do it. Buy a car that is less expensive, and because you need it, and that's going to be good for you.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So someday I meet a guy who wanted to pay the bill on time, but had many credit cards. And some credit cards. What do you think about to pay with credit cards?
Well, I think it's good to pay with credit cards if you don't have cash, because sometimes we just run out of money, we don't have enough cash, so we can use our credit cards. But we have to use them wisely, because if you have, let's say, 3 credit cards, and you're going to pay everything with one credit card and then with the other one that you have, again, you're going to have problems, right? But using one credit card, I think that's okay.
I think if you have many credit cards, you should have to be so responsible.
Right, you have to be responsible, right? So not because you have credit cards or because some banks offer you a credit card, you should accept it. Yeah, that's something that you must think about before doing, right? So if you know that you already have one credit card and that's enough because you use it wisely, just use that one and that's it.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, I have always liked to set aside money to buy something that I really like, but I deprivate myself in daily things.
Mhm.
Do you think it's good to set away money detriment of important things? For example, when I was a kid, I save a little money, and I decide not to eat
Mm.
the in the lunch, for example.
Okay, that sort of thing. Okay, I think it's always good to save money because you never know when you're going to need that money, right? So set aside some money that you know is going to be good for you. Some people have, when you were a kid, you probably had a piggy bank, right? And you used to put your coins in the piggy bank. So now that you're not a kid anymore, you can do the same thing. So just set some money aside for a rainy day because you never know what's going to happen. I think that's good. But if you need that money, for example, to eat or to buy some books that you need, you cannot do that.
Yeah.
You have to spend that money on your books, on your
Right.
food, right? But if just you're going to use that money because you want to indulge yourself, because you want to buy luxury things, just think twice before doing that, right? Because
Right.
that's not something good.
Yeah, and the last question is, what do you think about the people who follows a monthly budget?
I think that's great. I think everyone should have a monthly budget. And you have to stick to your budget. Because you know how much money you have, how much money you can spend, how much money you can save. You're the only one who knows that. So that's a good thing.
That's all. Thanks
All right.
very much.
Thank you.
First, I want thank you for your time. My name is Alejandro Jara. I'm studying multimedia and production 3D. First, we want to talk about the money, the credit cards, and these things, the money. Okay. First, I want to start saying that I am a server person, and I don't spend my money in things. I spend my money in important things, for example, in my study, in travels, and etc. I like to pay my bills on time because I think if I pay my bills on time, I can be quiet. Yeah, what do you think about to pay the bills on time?
I think that's the best thing you can do. Paying your bills on time keeps you from having problems with your money. So if you know that every month you have to pay on a certain date, do that. I think that's the best thing you can do.
I usually pay in cash, yeah, because I don't like credit cards.
Okay.
Because I sometimes when I don't have cash, I use my credit cards. But in what things do you think is important invest the money?
Wow, that's a difficult question. But I think it is important to invest in things that you know are going to give you money in return. Yeah? So, but what do you have to do before that? You have to analyze the situation and you have to think about it twice. Is it worth investing in this, for example, business? So you have, then after that you can decide.
You always
If I
invest
invest,
the money in business?
I have done it, yeah, and I think that's a good thing because when you start buying things, it's like a never-ending thing. You continue buying, and sometimes you waste your money. But if you invest your money, you know you're going to get benefit from the money you invested. So that's a good thing.
Okay, I think invest money in our education or personal things are the most important investment. What kind of investment you are avoid?
I should avoid?
Yes.
Okay, I think you should avoid spending money on unnecessary things,
For
luxury
example,
things.
luxury.
Yeah, for example, buying expensive things that you hardly ever use. You know what I mean? Yeah.
For example, clothes.
Yeah, for example,
Shoes.
clothes, shoes, yes, as you mentioned. What else? Things that you're not going to use. If you have already a laptop, for example, you have a computer, do you need another one? An expensive one?
Yeah.
If this one works well, I don't think so, right?
Yes.
So just avoid that stuff.
Okay. Are you a spender or server person?
I think I prefer to save money so that I can spend that money later on things that I really need. For example, one thing that I love doing is to travel. So I save money to travel whenever I have vacation.
But I think it's a good
Investment?
investment because you can discover cultures, language, and I think it's a good thing.
Right.
Yeah, I
Bet.
agree with this.
You agree with me?
Yeah. Yes.
Good.
Okay. Thank you very much, Maria.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you.